It's Madden NFL 22 on EA Sports, and we've got a showdown in the AFC North. It's the reigning Super Bowl champs and the Ravens, and it comes your way next on EA Sports.
They love their crab cakes and they love their football. That's what Maryland does. And we're at M&T Bank Stadium down near the inner harbor of Baltimore. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with the Cleveland Browns. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Brandon Gaudin alongside, as always, my partner, Charles. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Number 8, Lamar Jackson, trotting onto the field at quarterback, ready to lead this Ravens offense.
And the numbers were not pretty. I mean, they don't look right. When you throw 2 interceptions, no touchdown passes, there's no way to really make that work. But I thought there were a lot of positives in watching his game tape. I think he's close to putting out a good performance. Let's see if he can flip those numbers around in this game. And, of course, rally his team to a win.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. He'll check this down to Dobbins out of the backfield. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
And just a yard to go here on second down. They'll run for the first time with J.K. Dobbins. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Well, I can certainly tell my age, partner, because when I was a kid, running backs like J.K. Dobbins with over 2,000 yards in their final season in college, they went early in the draft. Instead, he somehow lasted until the second round. But how great is it to get a guy with that ability who could run it inside, run to the perimeter, and catch the football in the backfield? To be able to get him in the second round, that's what I call a steal.
They go play action now. Jackson. He'll take a shot for Davis to the end zone. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Gabriel Davis, his second touchdown on the season. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. But for all the deserved accolades Lamar Jackson gets for his running prowess, his deep ball, it's really a thing to behold as well.
And we knew that this offense was going to try and put pressure on the secondary. That was something they talked about with us. They knew that they had an advantage, pressed it, and there you go. Big play for a touchdown on their very first possession.
Extra point right down the middle, and it's now a 7-0 game. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it's capped off by the Baltimore score. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. They're led by the number 1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
The word is potential, potential, potential. Think about this guy from the time he was in high school, one of the top prospects going to college, coming out of college, mentioned as a generational type quarterback. He looks the part. Tall, big arm, surveys the field, and can take off and run when under duress.
They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. The numbers for him from a week ago: 4 catches, 55 yards, and a touchdown.
And he's able to pull that last pass in, but this is usually a pretty tough unit to try and maneuver against. They're in the top 10 in the league against the pass, and you and I both know there's not much difference between 1 and 10.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
Back to Sermon on first down. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 3 yards remain for second down. On the handoff, Sermon. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I've not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things off.
Yeah, I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now.
And they'll throw on first down with Lawrence. That'll be complete to Cook.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Cook. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. Well, this crowd does not like that call.
Understandable reaction from them. That's their team that the penalty is going against. But you and I both know they're going to take care of the quarterback.
That's caught left side by the tight end, Jordan. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. 3 yards the gain there, second down. Now a handoff, Sermon. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Lawrence. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the 2 with a 9-yard loss.
Well, it's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. So now the Browns will turn it over to their field goal unit here. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. And his kick here is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the game.
Yeah, I like the observation there because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
And he'll get this just up past the 20, but a marker is down. Let's get the call. Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. With that field position after the return wasn't terrific, it's not a great starting field position as well.
And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that, and here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game, and all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now Jackson. That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. And the numbers for Andrews last week, 5 catches, 61 yards.
And they think they have a matchup advantage in this one. They're going to try and find some space for him to work and make sure he touches the football.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that already.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 49-yard line. Jackson going to keep it running right. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
How about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it. Most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. 48 yards rushing for him now on just his first 3 carries. That was excellent from start to finish, from the blocking to the running, just well executed.
And now let's look ahead, because after that, how about a little play action, maybe a little bootleg, and get the quarterback out on the corner and give him a little run-pass option.
And they're right down here looking for 6. So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. And now Jackson will look to throw it. Oh, this is going to be caught along the sidelines. Probably shouldn't have been caught. He's going to lose yardage there. Not much there, only a yard. The ball situated at the 9, 2nd and goal. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. Jackson from the shotgun. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Now the Ravens bring out the field goal unit here. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And his kick is good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. 3-2, their record through the first 5 games of the year as they got the victory last week. It's still early, just October, but what have you seen from these guys so far?
Well, what I've seen is a team that's still figuring out all their pieces because they've got some new faces from a year ago, add in some new draft picks. Sometimes it takes a month or so before you really start to gel as a team and for those players to figure out their roles. But right now, I see them starting to elevate.
And he's going to have a Browns first down as the tackle made here at the 36. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Sermon. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage held their spot, and stacked him up.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They give those 2 yards right back, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 10.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. From the shotgun, Lawrence. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. Our score after 1 here on EA Sports. The start of the second quarter, and it's the Browns in control of the football. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. Off the option, it's Sermon. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So that time they get the tight end on the hold.
Normally he's a pretty good run blocker, but this time he just didn't get his arms extended and let go quickly enough. The flag came out as a result.
57 yards on the ground for him so far. On 2nd down, another shot for Sermon. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. The Browns on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Here's Lawrence. And that is incomplete. Oh, he did everything but hold on to it. But a nice play defensively, and now it brings up 4th down. And he hits the upright, but it caroms in anyway. Boy, plenty of distance there as he banks it in. And that'll bring him back within 4. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. With the football back over to Baltimore and J.K. Dobbins. He's been effective so far over the 40-yard mark here in the second quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Oftentimes when you see a running back get bunched up in the backfield, it's usually because the defensive tackle is eating up blockers for others to make the play. Not in this case.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. A handoff running left is Dobbins. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. On 3rd down, Jackson. He's going to let this one go deep. And this is dropped. Oh, my goodness. There was no one around him, but he took his eye off it, and it falls incomplete. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. Just a 25-yard punt. Not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat. Make sure he touches it a few times. But as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go. And let's see who's faster.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a run with Sermon. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, the 36 on 2nd and 8. Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. He'll get this complete to Kadarius Toney. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. They'll try and run for the first with Sermon. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line.
Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league in converting on 3rd down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, 3rd down conversions. So they got one there. They run. Here's Sermon. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. A 3rd field goal in the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. This is Sermon. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave him with some options here on 4th and inches. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. And this one is right through. And that gets him back within a single point. It's now 10-9. So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The football back over to Baltimore and J.K. Dobbins. And we checked the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Dobbins running out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Jackson. He will find Davis. That's complete. His second catch, and this one not nearly as electrifying as his first. And it'll bring up 3rd down now. Throwing is Jackson. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Watkins. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 37-yard line. Here's a give to Dobbins. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Here's Jackson to throw. They set up the screen for Dobbins. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. Jackson now. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. And this score will stay right where it is. A 55-yard attempt, normally you'd say well within his range. Little surprised he came up short.
And he knew it immediately, didn't he? They are so calibrated, aren't they? They can tell the touch, the feel. When they put the foot to the ball, whether it's going to be good or not, he knew immediately he didn't have that one.
Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Lawrence. They set up the screen for Sermon. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Of course, he was solid last week. AFC Offensive Player of the Week award. 2 touchdowns in that game.
Yeah, he's playing at a level right now where he's just breaking down defenses. Makes me remember when I was playing and my defensive back coach told me, listen, if you give up a touchdown pass, that's on me. I didn't coach you well enough. If you give up a second one, that's on you. And if there's a third one, I'm getting someone else in the game.
On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. They bring the safety on the blitz, and he busts through to drop it for an 8-yard loss. Well, the number one mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. On 3rd down, Lawrence. He'll find Sermon out of the backfield. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to bring up the 4th down.
The whole idea of the screen pass is to fool the defense in a big way and create a big play.
They weren't fooled. Not
1 second, not 1 bit. How about them figuring it out, diagnosing it, and spilling it for lost yardage? And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
risk of a long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now it's Jackson. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that went a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. He wants it all for the end zone. And that's incomplete. So we're at halftime here in the Inner Harbor with the hometown Ravens on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll start up at Highmark Stadium, just outside of Buffalo, where it was the Bills who pick up the victory at home. Josh Allen, excellent in the victory, as his guys run their mark to 4-2 on the year. From there, we head to the Big Easy to check on the Saints at home in the Superdome. And they were winners as they defeat the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. Alvin Kamara, over 100 yards on the afternoon thus far with a touchdown run as well. And then one more to highlight, Monday Night Football. As folks, you'll see a good one between the Tennessee Titans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. On now to a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Browns. And they were able to have a little bit of success on the ground. The question will be, will they stick with it? Or will they be throwing more to try and regain this lead? Meanwhile, for the Ravens, by comparison, they've been the better of these two sides in the rushing department, as you see the numbers there.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. And no run back here as the third quarter will commence with a touchback. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
Throwing now, Lawrence on first down. Open man is Jordan, the tight end. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now it's Sermon. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And this is caught inside the 5. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. A big play that time for Cleveland. In today's NFL, we talk about quarterbacks and their speed and accuracy, but there's still something about a guy slinging one downfield.
And I tell you, from our broadcast booth, because we're pretty close to the 50, we had the best view, a bird's-eye view of that throw, and it was an absolute thing of beauty to watch. Never ceases to amaze me, the arm strength of these guys.
Sermon. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Trey Sermon, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Browns have taken the lead. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get him over the goal line.
They're going to keep it on the ground, and he will get into the end zone again, and he seems to have a nose for it as he gets both the touchdown and the two-point conversion. So they kept it on the ground, got it into the end zone. But Charles, sometimes you probably see teams treat a two-point conversion differently than if it was first and goal from the two, or I should say third and goal from the two.
I agree with you totally on that. A lot of teams treat it as if they have farther to go and shy away from running the football. I think this is a great spot to do it because most teams play you for the pass. Go ahead and run and let your linemen surge and fire out.
This one fielded at the 5. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. They find themselves down 17-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Another run here with Dobbins. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. Continues to be a struggle for this offense, and this home crowd, they're growing a little restless here in the second half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you a little more space.
It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down. Here's Jackson. He gets this underneath to Dobbins, and they will stop him short. They get him to the ground at the 27, no first down. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll come on to kick this one away. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that second score here in the 3rd quarter. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 90 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game. He continues to be effective running the football, a big reason that they have the lead.
And I love one of the quotes that I read about him where he said of himself, "I love it when a team just hops on my back and I just carry them along."
Right back to him on 1st down. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. And now they'll throw it with Lawrence. Over the middle, complete. It's Cook. Had to put that ball in there with a little extra zip, and he put it right where it needed to be.
Yeah, and that little extra pace that he had on the pass, that required a little extra concentration for him, didn't it? Ball can get on you pretty quick in that manner, and he handled it well and picked up the first down.
Sermon now on 1st and 10. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Now Lawrence. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Lawrence. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So out comes the field goal team once more. This from 44 yards away. And his kick is right there. It's good. And they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. So the lead grows here incrementally, but I think the way their defense is playing, you feel okay with just getting 3.
They've definitely been stout so far, but now that could all change because if one guy gets loose for 70 yards, this is a different game. But as it stands, field goals are good. Just keep adding to that lead.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Now Dobbins again on 2nd down. He takes this from the 30 to the 34. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson. And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's 4th. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's come together for you. The big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. 138 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign. They had a chance to limit his yardage, but he was able to fight off that tackle.
So it's not just the responsibility of the guys who missed the tackles along the way. It's all 11 on defense, able to stop this guy, unable to do it on that play. They've got to find a way. How about his ability to break through and gain that yardage?
And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. On 2nd down, it's Sermon. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 2, now Lawrence. Quick slant to Brown. And he is going to have a Browns 1st down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards. Gotta say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And he's got Jordan complete right side. 7 yards the pickup there.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Throwing again on second down. Lawrence. He's going to be sacked. Back at the 23-yard line. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Time to go to work. Let's go.
Now Lawrence to throw. That'll be complete to Sermon. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24.
Bring it.
They call it a loss of a yard there. And that's going to make it 4th down.
We always talk about the athleticism we see from these guys on the field. How about the intelligence as well? He recognized that there was a screen pass on that one, broke off his pass rush, and got back to tackle the running back. That's great scouting and great reaction.
And his kick is indeed good, and that will stretch the lead up to 13. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
From the 6, and makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The football back over to Baltimore and J.K. Dobbins. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's getting off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps, and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case, I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Right back to Dobbins on 1st. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40. 2nd down at 5. Now a handoff for Dobbins. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. A shotgun snap and a give to Dobbins. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. To throw is Jackson. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal. Jackson from the shotgun. He'll find Dobbins out of the backfield. And he will have a Ravens first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. And that'll be complete to Dobbins. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. To throw again on second down, Jackson. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Jackson will throw again. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And his kick is good. And that gets them back within 10. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Taken in at the 3. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
The drive starts with a carry by Sermon. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. It was Maurice Hurst who got him down. On second down, another shot for Sermon. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and the big yardage all night long.
From the gun on 3rd down, Lawrence. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. The defense coming through on 3rd down. Loss of 7 to bring up 4. 3rd and long, you knew that he was going to throw it. He just couldn't find anybody to throw it to.
Yeah, and it shouldn't have been a surprise, but that was perfect execution of their nickel defense. That 5th defensive back, the extra defender, he really tightened up things downfield in coverage, and they were able to get to him in the pocket.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Ravens, they'll take over. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. The Ravens on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Jackson to throw. They set up the screen for Dobbins. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the first.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Option play, and they'll hand to Dobbins. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Now Jackson on first down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is caught. It's a big play there for Baltimore. And Charles, of interest here, that last throw is going to put him over 20,000 yards passing for his career. And that's not a bad number.
You're exactly right about that. And even though it's nowhere near the top of the leaderboard, because when you think about it, Brady and Breeze, they've done that 4 times over. But when you hit 20,000, let's face it, only a little over 100 guys have ever done that in the NFL. It's worthy of some applause.
An option handoff here to Dobbins. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Good job there defensively to push them back on first down. I'm not sure if this is 4-down territory or not, because they can kick the field goal and get it back within a score. But you know that's not what they're thinking right now. A field goal has to be their last option.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, second and goal. Throwing is Jackson. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
You figure down in the red zone, the play call that's going to come in, find the guy that's most susceptible. It's the guy that you think that you can beat. In this case, they tried to pick on the rookie, and he was actually up to the challenge.
Yes, he was. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Well, time to let those folks know who are tuning in looking for the late local news. We may be a moment because we've got a game again.
And partner, except for those on the West Coast where it'll be seen in its regular time, right? That's the way it works, doesn't it? But how about that? Big-time drive right there. If they're going to have any chance, they needed a touchdown there, and they went right down the field and worked their way into the end zone.
Extra point splits the uprights, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded right around the 8. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. With the football going back over now to the Cleveland Browns. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. Looking to throw, Lawrence. This will be caught by Brown. And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25.
Well, there wasn't much there with that hitch route. They didn't gain what they expected. But sometimes when you call a hitch, you really don't have an alternate to go to. You don't have a second route to throw it to. So sometimes you have to rifle in there and hope for the best.
From the 25 on second down, Lawrence. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On the draw is Sermon. And not a lot of daylight, not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up second down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
On second down, another shot for Sermon. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. Here's Lawrence to throw. He'll find Sermon out of the backfield. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him, and try and cover him before he gets going.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football.
Time to go.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. A run on 1st down, but it's not going to get them much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. On 2nd down, another shot for Sermon. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. To the right side, this is Sermon. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late 4th quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football. I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
And he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed. Call it a gain of 5, 4th down now.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. And his kick here is good. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense.
He's got a man complete. And he takes this way down deep into Cleveland territory. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for